Today I'm in the heart of our bustling city, tourist York. If I come here in the afternoon there'd be huge swathes of people around. I'm here at 6 p.m. when it's a little quieter. Tourist York seems to me to get busier and busier each year. There's always new big events, new festivals and people visiting from all over the world. Living here, it's sometimes easy to forget to take for granted the beauty around us. People often tell me that York is their favourite city in the UK to visit, whether it be for a weekend break or longer. The tourist season now seems to kick off around February half term and run right the way through to October, not to mention the St Nicholas Fair around Christmas. Right in the hub where I'm standing now is where two of the best touristy shopping streets meet. Characterful, picturesque, gift shops, jewellers, quaint old-fashioned pubs and souvenir haunts, all set within a medieval framework. Here is where Stonegate meets Petergate. So the modern crossroads stands here today, but this was also the site of the main Roman crossroads, because these are both Roman roads. Here, the city of Eboracum was divided into 4 quarters. York has quite a higgledy-piggledy layout today, but the crux of it here is built on what was 2 dead straight roads in Roman times. The added kink up in Petergate came about in the medieval era. Okay, so we have the Roman map of York. Romans built their cities to the same plans, aided by the stars. So in other words, that's why everything is so straight. You've got the 4 walls forming the fortress in between the rivers. As we zoom in here, you can see there's 2 main roads that run right the way through. The Via Principalis, the main Roman road, runs down what is today Bootham, and so this is today the A19. When it comes into the city, becomes Petergate, and running across ways, this is the Via Praetoria. This is the A64 today, and when it comes into the city, it is Stonegate. Roman roads, would you believe, would have been 70 feet wide. The buildings have just encroached as the years have gone on. Would have been thirsty work, no doubt, laying the roads back then, but at least they had a Starbucks. Often here on the crossroads, there's one guy, one memorable character of York, who stands here looking over the streets.
Believe it or not, I stand on stilts, so I'm about this much higher than I am now. I've got a black outfit on and a tricorn hat, and people can usually see me handing out leaflets with a big sign to promote the tour.
So you're the guy on the stilts. Lots of people know of you, recognise you. You must have seen a lot of different characters from the top of the stilts.
I certainly have, all kinds of different characters. Everybody comes up towards me, from the nice to the not so nice, and I also, though, get lots of famous people. So I've had, for example, Christopher Timothy's come to speak to me from All Creatures Great and Small. I've had the guy from one of the antique shows as well, and also Michael Patillo as well. I turned round one day and he was just there right in my face.
So today we've got Petergate, named because the minster's full name was the Metropolitan Church of St Peter, and Stonegate, which on this side becomes called Minster Gates because the minster and all the associated church buildings around it used to be gated off rather than openly accessible. You can see Goddess Minerva up here on the corner, goddess of poetry and wisdom, amongst other things. Shades of Athena in there as well. She sits here because this was Bookshop Street. Minster Gate here used to be called Bookbinder's Alley. There's still a little bookshop on it today. In medieval times, each street was for a different purpose, so these essentially were signposts. Whereas today we have the written street signs, back then a lot of people couldn't read or write, so this was the way to tell people what was here. Why they wanted to find Bookshop Street if they couldn't read or write, I don't know. Tell us a little bit about the Ghost Walk adventures themselves.
Well, I start my Ghost Walk experience from the Roman column, which is next to the Minster. It's very themed, it's interactive. We tend to do a little bit of scene reenactment on the tours. For example, the story of Sir Thomas Percy, who was an earl who was beheaded. Somebody in the group usually gets beheaded. A story about a nun walled up alive, came the ghost of the Grey Lady, and a lady usually gets mock walled up alive on the tour.
Apparently it's against the creature